boys and girls, it's Mrs. Levitt, and I'm glad you're back with me again today. I know I have a kind of a crazy looking jacket on today, and I wanted to talk to you about this famous artist, Pablo Picasso. This is Pablo Picasso, and he is one of the most famous 20th century artists. What that means is that his work is well known from the 20th century or the whole 1900s. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about him today. Before we get started, I'm going to show you my jacket because it's got Picasso's signature on it. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then I also have a Cubist Style Portrait on the back. And that's what we're going to be working on today, is the Cubist Style Portrait. So Picasso is known for lots of different styles of art. He had the rose period, the blue period, cubism, he did realistic, all sorts of different things. And you can find so much information about him. But what I do want you to know about him is, and what we're going to focus on today, is that he was a Spanish artist, meaning he was from Spain. And he spoke Spanish, but he lived a good portion of his life in France. And this is one of his Cubist portraits. So today we're going to talk about how to create our own Cubist portrait. So I have started with a plain sheet of paper. I'm going to have a writing utensil. So I'm going to use a Sharpie because it shows up better on film, but you can use a pencil. I've got markers and, again, crayons. You can do whatever works for you. Any materials will work. You could even use paint. I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of paper and I'm going to fold it multiple times. And I'm just going to go with, let's say, 6 times. So any direction, any way you want. It doesn't matter which way you do it. I'm just folding it different ways. I don't want to ball it up, but I do want to come up with some really awesome lines on my paper. All right, so I'm not sure you can see this, but you will see, I'm going to flip it over so you can see the folds in my paper. And I'm going to draw an image using those folds. So I'm actually using the lines in my paper to draw my figure. You can add lines that are not actually in the page. Like I'm adding the neck. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of mimic that line. And I'm going to divide it in some places. Now I'm going to do the face. And the purpose of cubism is to show a figure or object in multiple positions at multiple times. So I'm going to start with my regular forward-facing eye. And I'm also going to do a side view or profile view. And the nose can be anywhere. If I was turning my face, it would be a side view. If it was forward, it would be different. And then I'm going to do the mouth as well. And then ears. You might have 2 ears. You might have 1 because you don't always see both ears. And then I'm going to add the hair. Now this one is going to be a girl. So I'm going to add her hair. This one actually could possibly even be a self-portrait because it kind of looks like me. I'm going to add an eyebrow. If you want to add eyebrows, you can. If you want to add eyelashes, you can. It's totally up to you. And then I'm going to use the background lines to divide it and make my areas where I'm going to add my pattern. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to bring in my markers. Now you can do crayons first and do the background in crayons or markers. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in, or maybe you want to do it all in markers. I'm going to pull out my markers and I'm going to start adding patterns to my background. So I'm going to make this whole area just red stripes. So this is the one I've done. I use the folds to make my lines. You don't have to use just the folds, but that's what I did for this one. Then you can add pattern to your background with marker or crayon, and then you can also color. So what I've done right here is I've completed it. I did the colored marker for the background, and I added patterns because I thought that was very interesting and very bold, and Picasso is known for his bold artwork. And then I also used just regular crayon for the actual figure. Now, a portrait is a picture of a person. So I wanted to show you some portraits done by Pablo Picasso. This is a really awesome Cubism style artwork. You'll notice that it has lots of shapes and colors. This one is someone crying. It's called The Weeping Woman. And then this one is a little more childlike. So I hope that you will be able to come up with your own Cubist style artwork. I think you can. See you later. Bye.